adapted, because that's dialogue and that's productive. They don't want that.
Okay.
They want a guy with his hair tied up in ponytails with a white line painted across his face, doing an Indian rain dance, and then trying to tell you something about what's going to happen in 2012. They want that.
Yes, and because the spirits are telling him.
Yeah. He's got tinfoil on his head. Great guy. We like him.
Okay. All right. So anyone who
Well, there's something about tinfoil that we were talking about, which is quite relevant, isn't there? But that's another question. That's another situation altogether.
Do you want to deal with?
We was talking about?
I do remember that. Do you want to talk about the tinfoil hat?
No,
thing?
because to be honest, that's part of the joke, and that's not what you want to do here.
No. Okay. All right. No, that's true. So what you're saying there, and all of this was in the context of what's coming down the pike at us over the next few years, and then you started off, which I did appreciate, saying, well, actually, first of all, let's get the nonsense out of the way. And you're saying that in the alternative media, there's a lot of nonsense, and from the inside, the whole thing is seen as a bit of a comedy show most of the time.
Yeah.
It's like, look how...
And the times it isn't taken as a comedy show is when they actually take your ideas on. Because every now and then, some crackpot will come up with an idea that actually flies.
Okay.
And it will be used. And that crackpot will find his life easier. He will get funding.
Can you give us an example of that?
You put me on the spot there.
No, it's fine. That's all right.
No, I can't. Not right now. Let me think while we're talking, and maybe, or maybe you'll come across something where it will become apparent to me that it is an example.
Okay, that's cool. But I get the concept. I was just immediately curious because he hadn't mentioned that to me before.
Oh.
Okay, so what you're describing is that the alternative media is a bit of a circus. It's a bit of a comedy show. There are all kinds of characters who have got their some fixed idea about something that's very crazy, and that suits the 33 very well because they are very happy to see people running as hard as they can in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And taking as many people with them as possible.
Yeah.
Because it takes away a potential source of problem, which is what would be people actually really waking up and looking at the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Disinformation, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very useful. The most useful thing.
Yes.
I would say. Much better than a pun.
Right. Yes.
Because if you threaten these guys, they actually get worse.
Yes. Yes.
It gives them validity.
Yes. Yes, right. So you said you weren't very good with numbers, which I actually don't really believe that. But on a percentage scale in the alternative media, how much nonsense is there?
I've already told you that once, and you already know. I would say at least 70%.
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
My personal opinion is 90%.
Okay.
But that's a bit unfair.
Okay.
Because I don't get on with those people very well at all. Which is why you're another surprise.
Right. You're another surprise because we get along well with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Usually I couldn't tolerate someone like you because I would get angry and just say you're talking rubbish and get out of my sight because I'm going to hurt you.
Okay. Actually, that's very funny. It's like, get out of my sight, and I'm taking care of you here because otherwise, you'd be smart to walk out of that door now. Okay, it's a joke. So I know sometimes it hasn't been a joke either.
No,
it's a very fine line. We've talked about this as well.
Before, yeah.
Like between humour and deadly seriousness.
Yeah.
Okay. Those of you who know me quite well know that I make a lot of jokes and seriousness. Okay. So if we're talking about the 70% that's nonsense, let's say it's 70. What's the 30% that's real?
Oh, that's a good question. And it's quite a large. Again, you've done it. It's quite a large question. Perhaps you. I mean, I could put that straight back at you and say, what do you think the 30% is real? And it'd be just as difficult for you to answer.
Well, I could...
I think people get an idea of who's telling the truth and who isn't. All right, you could tell me straight, body language. Everyone will go for body language. Let me tell you something about body language. I use it all the time. And if you are aware, it's very easy for me because of my accent and what people make and very often make a judgment about me. And that's very handy. Very handy.
Okay, it suits you down to the ground.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Uneducated, thuggish, brutal.
And they think that you're unintelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they consider me dangerous, maybe, or they watch their step, maybe, but they wouldn't expect me to know things about body language and things like that. Now, they're in a very dangerous position there because I do. And body language is something you can use against someone, because if you know and can control yourself, which can be done, you can give them a false flag.
Yes.
They'll think that you're telling the truth and you're not, because you know that you can control yourself.
Yes.
So they are their own worst enemies. A little bit of education, it's very dangerous.
They can think that you're being submissive, and you're not.
Absolutely. They can think that I'm telling the truth. Everyone knows that, it's getting quite in the public domain now, but body language and the psychology behind it and all the rest of it, if your eyes do this or they do that, okay. If the guy doesn't know or the girl doesn't know anything about it, and you're educated and you're there for a reason, and you're trying and you're looking for those things and they're unaware of it, well then of course you'll get a good representation of what that person's thinking and saying. But if the individual is playing you and has a good education in that, they will use it against you, and you won't even be aware of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
you're now wondering if I'm doing it to you.
I've been watching you for the last 4 or 5 months. You're a very good psychologist. Of course you are. Not an academic one, but you never were academically qualified at any of the things which you're good at. It's been very interesting watching you do your job very professionally and effectively.
But what I would say is I haven't.
Well, not by your previous standards.
No.
Not by your previous standards.
No. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I do it, but for the right reasons. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you're getting somewhere where, you said it last night, the hot and cold game.
Yes.
That's what I do.
Yes.
That's what I do. So I'm doing it in that respect.
Yes. Like
you're
what you're talking. What you're talking about is guiding and steering.
Yeah.
Saying yes, you're on the mark. No, you're on the mark.
Not defending myself.
Yeah.
Trying to get out. You're not the judge.
Sure.
So I don't need to be a victim. I don't need to be in the dock.
Yeah. Okay. Now we got onto that because we were talking about what people thought about you. We were talking about disinformation. We were talking about what people. I think we were. What people thought about you, and people would often read you wrong, and that you were talking about body language and so on and so forth. The tracks that we were on just before that, I was talking about what in the 30% that wasn't the 70% maybe is on the money or close to it. What do we need to worry about? There are a lot of people watching this right now who really want to know what they should be aware of, what they should be looking at, what they should be preparing for.
Let's allay some fears. Some serious nonsense.
Very good.
No nuclear war.
Good.
Forget it. It's not happening. Never will happen. Would have happened by now. Surely you can see that.
Okay.
Yeah. 1983, we came that close.
1983.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or was it 85? 85.
I don't know. Okay.
We came that close. Documented. Have a look into it. I can't remember what it was all about. But basically, America and Russia came within inches in a mistake, and that kind of,
it's not the Cuban Missile Crisis. We're talking about that. What do you mean?
Later on.
Later on in the 80s.
Later on. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a historian, Bill, so I don't know. I'm just using an example. There was something. We have come close a few times. You just mentioned another one, so
I believe it.
Okay. And it didn't happen. So if it was going to, that was when it was going to. So that's all rubbish. And besides, if you do that, you ruin everything.
Yeah.
It's
and
pure nonsense.
And it takes people out, and it's not selective.
Exactly.
Is it? It's not selective.
Exactly. Yeah. You damage what Do you want that country after that?
Yeah.
Look how long you're going to have to wait. And let's face it. Look what happened to England. They ended up paying for the Second World War and putting everything right, and they're now in a weaker position than Germany is.
Okay. So they're saying.
And Japan. The same thing with Japan. With America.
So you are saying
the winner loses.
Yes.
Financially.
Yeah.
So just from the finance, people understand finances, and they know that everyone at the top is greedy. This is this is stuff we know. So just by that same token, there is going to be no conflict of that description, because it's detrimental to everybody.
Okay.
So you don't have to go. I feel sorry for all the guys that have gone and liquidated all their assets and run to the hills. You're idiots. There was no need to do that. You've wasted your time. if you did it because of that,
yes,
you've wasted your time.
Or let's say the people who've liquidated their assets and they built themselves a bunker 100 feet under the ground.
Yeah, they've wasted a lot of money that they could have used in a far better way.
So that's important. You're saying, for sure, because you know, on record, no nuclear war.
Let me say this for sure. Mistakes happen,
Okay.
obviously. You know, nuclear mistakes even.
Okay.
But there is no perceived plan to do that on their part.
Okay. Good. So that's one thing you said you wanted to knock on the head.
Okay, so that's that.
Is there more?
So 2012, something's going to hit us out of the space. You know, some natural massive phenomenon is going to happen.
People talk about a pole shift, you know, which has happened in the past.
And Neruba and all that. Yeah, I've been told that we're a binary system.
A binary system.
Yeah.
But nothing to worry about?
No.
Something to worry about?
No,
Okay.
nothing to worry about. The fact that it's a binary system, and the 2012, if you want to take that stupid film, that's, you know, no. There will be some difficulties because of solar activity. I've been told that around that time, but they're not even accurate. You can't. No one can predict what the sun is about to do.
Okay.
They can say, you know, this happens at that certain time, you know, and it's not my field, so I don't really want to talk about that. But no, I've been told that, you know, well, we've all been told because of our business assets and so on, that, you know, it might be a good idea to have some sort of electromagnetic protection for your equipment.
Right, that's important.
Around that time.
That's it. And
But it's not going to be the end of the world. You know, we are talking about, you know, something that happened. It's happened 100 years ago.
yes,
It's documented, and people, and it's been documented that it is coming. It's not a secret.
yes. Is this 2013?
Yeah,
Is this something
2012,
like that?
2013. Like I said,
Okay.
you can put a number, and you know, there you go with your calendar again.
Right. Okay.
We're on a ball flying through space. What are you talking about calendars for? It's nonsense.
Okay.
It's education that you had that wasn't needed.
Okay. So what you're saying, this is a running summary here. You're saying that that the solar system is a binary system, but that's not in itself a problem.
Yeah.
There is going to be some heightened solar activity, probably.
Can I just stop you there? I'm not saying that because I'm not an educated.
You're saying,
I know as much. I know nothing about that. I only get involved if something's going to damage me.
Yes.
And if something is being said that I might take heed of, it will be stopped when I ask the question. But I don't want an education on it. I just ask, is that something I've got to worry about? Yes or no? No, it isn't.
Okay.
All right? And that's what I'm saying. Don't get me into the science of it because I have no idea.
Yes. Yeah. But these are things that have come up in conversation.
Yeah.
They've come up in conversation.
Yes, like I said, sometimes alternative media get it right.
Okay. And you've got reason to believe that when those things did come up in conversation, no one was bullshitting you.
No, that's right.
It was this is just the way it was.
You wouldn't bullshit me.
Okay. Right. Okay, good.
Not because of any threat. You just wouldn't. That would muck it all up, wouldn't it?
It wouldn't be smart for them to do that
No.
if they want to work with you.
No, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, because I might decide that the bit of bullshit they gave me is a reason why I don't want to do what they want me to do.
Right. Good. That's why I decided at a very early stage I wouldn't bullshit you.
Yeah.
Right. Smart, right?
Very.
Right, okay.
Because I would have known.
You would have known, and I knew you would have known. So, and that's actually kept things on a very even keel between us, which I would like to think you've appreciated.
Yeah, which is why I said I wouldn't use body language on you, other than to help you.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Back to what it is that is real here. You talked about a little bit of solar.
So we were on the list, weren't we? Okay, so we got 2012. There is going to be some solar activity. There is going to be a problem with the poles, but not a problem. Not something that is going to cause. They don't think it's going to cause massive disruption. However, preparations are being made.
Can you say anything more about that?
Well, you all know. Everybody knows. Everyone knows about.
You mean the underground bases?
Yeah. There's millions and millions. I can't even. I don't know what the figure is for England, but or I don't know what the figure is for America either. It doesn't really interest me. But they have spent billions of dollars finding places that can be tunnelled easily and then going for it in a way, you know. And what always amazes me is there are lorries going down there.
Yeah.
You know, and those lorries are driven by guys that really should know better. And should be saying, well, you know where I went today, dear. And they don't. They just don't. It's amazing. That is one thing that actually amazes me quite often. People just don't.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid $800 a day to do it. All right? I won't talk about it.
Yeah. This is something that's often occurred to me, the tens of thousands of people involved in construction and no one saying
If you
anything.
want to look for a villain, they're it. Yeah, they're you guys. And they're stabbing you right in the back for money.
Yeah. There's taking the money, signing the non-disclosure agreement and just...
Well, it's not
Whatever.
even, when we're talking about truck drivers and people like that, you're talking about people that were met in prison.
Okay.
And when you get out, go and see this guy. And you can drive a Pantechnicon truck.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
He's going to pay you $5-6 grand a week to do it. And you just go here, and drop the trailer and go back and get another one. And you do that twice a day and we'll pay you $800 to do it. And this is a guy that was in prison for beating the living shit out of his wife.
Okay.
All right, so we're not talking about people. Just because someone can drive a lorry, don't make him a decent blue-collar worker.
I got you. Yep, I got you. All right. Is there any...
If you're looking for a villain in the whole thing, they're it. And that's you lot.
When you say you lot, you mean the people who are not part of the inside structure,
yeah.
just people who are taking the money and
running.
Yeah, I believe it.
And there's certain individuals in there that are feathering their own nest. They're digging their own holes.
Yes.
Because they thought, well, if you're doing it,
Okay.
which is an odd one, but yeah, that does happen.
Now, a couple of minutes ago, when we were talking about the nuclear war being off the table or not happening, you said that the guys who are heading for the hills are wasting their time, or at least not for that reason. Is there any reason why somebody heading for the hills and getting a little farm and little community?
Oh, well, if you're going to say farm, that's completely different. That's very wise.
Why is that wise?
Well, you could argue that as well. That could be very foolish, because if I haven't got anything to eat and you've got a farm, you're in serious trouble.
Okay.
So if you've got a farm, you better have some geographical... An island would be good.
Why? What's happening? What's going to be coming down the line?
Well, again, I believe that, you know... no, it's not even... It's the wrong way to start that. People know about companies, and we ought to be very careful about naming those companies at this point, because it's actionable.
All right.
And it will be actioned. I can assure you that has been put on the table. This is what's going to happen. If the alternative media start using names of large companies, they are going to find things very difficult for them. They will be prosecuted. Their finances will be destroyed.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not.
We're referring to food.
Yes, you're talking to. So you're referring to large companies who are dealing with food.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone knows here
Genetically
what you're talking
modified
about.
food.
Genetically modified
And
food.
if you're a farmer in Wisconsin, you'd know exactly what I'm talking about, and you've just jumped up in your chair and said, "Finally, someone's going to say it."
All right. So what's...
Because they've been living it for years.
Yeah. So what's going on there? This is a big one, isn't it? This is important.
It is. If you want to worry about something, that's what you want to worry about.
Okay, so tell people...
And there's no time frame on this. This has been being rolled out for years. As I said, go to the Midwest. Ask any guy there who he's had to deal with and the tactics they've used when he didn't want to do it. There's a very, very small number of farmers that use their own seed now. And they are ridiculed, disenfranchised, hounded, criminalised in their own communities for not towing that line.
Yeah. So
planting their own seeds, you know.
So what's all that about? Why is this happening?
Well, now I'll tell you straight away. You immediately, as I said, that guy jumps up and says, "Yay!" There are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of other people that have been brought into a way of thinking that genetically modified crops is the only way to feed the population at the size it is.
Right.
And that equation works. It is. It does. That is the only way if the population is the size it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we stop using genetically modified crops, we are evil because we are making the poor man starve.
Right.
Yeah. Because it's the only way we're going to be able to produce enough crops for that poor man.
Okay.
Yeah. So immediately I'm a demon now because I've dared to cross the genetically modified crop issue by saying that it's not good. Yeah, but straight away they'll say, "Well, you're you're evil, because that, if you start making people think that, or people take this video seriously, etc., and they start actively pursuing, but that, you know, in their state or their county, there is a trial. Well, we're past the trial stage now, aren't we? There are fields that are being used like that. They will say straight away, you know, this is a good thing because it enables higher yield.
Yes.
So therefore we will have surplus, so we can send it to people that need it.
Yes.
Yeah, because the population is the size it is. Yeah. So the only way, it's a good thing. You know, and to dissent on it is evil, because you're going to make people starve.
Right. Okay. So what you're saying is that this is being sold as being a good thing because it's the way to solve the problem.
Thing. Mathematically, you wouldn't be able to argue it. It is a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Until someone turns the switch off, and then it's a really bad thing.
Yes. Turning the switch off, meant as a metaphor, what's the switch? Can you help people understand what that would be?
Well, a farmer would understand what I've said straight away. If I don't give you that seed anymore because you don't pay your bill.
Okay. So we're talking about something that disrupts that system that's been set up.
Literally, I educate you, but you know about, you know, they're buying seed that it will not reproduce. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. When it's grown, that's that.
Yes.
And you're not allowed to store seed that is able to grow and reproduce.
Right.
That's actually almost criminal now.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah? They will hound you if you've got that kind of seed, because they want to stamp that kind of seed out. So you're totally dependent on what comes on a lorry every year.
Yes. Okay.
Is that farming?
Yeah. Right.
It takes away the very essence of farming.
Yeah. So you're saying that then, if that structure is interrupted in some way, then the whole house of cards comes down.
Yeah.
Okay. And what you're saying then, I haven't heard you say this just now, but it sounds to me like what you're saying then is that this is planned and engineered, that this is going to happen, they're going to do this?
Absolutely.
All right. You said that without even thinking about it. It's like, yes, absolutely.
It is going to happen.
It is going to happen.
Yeah. It's just a matter of when.
But yeah.
And that'll be when the time's right.
When the time's right.
Because there is no time, which always makes me laugh when people make predictions.
Yeah.
They are in that 70% of the alternative media that are complete idiots.
Yes.
Because as soon as someone, here's an interesting thing for you, as soon as someone puts a date on it, we won't do it. That's the end of it.
Right. Right.
Credibility, out the window.
Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity to destroy someone's credibility by mentioning a date.
We love it when they do that.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's easy to understand.
And a couple of your friends have done that.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
And of course it hasn't happened.
Right. Yes. Interesting. Okay. Back to the big scenario here. You're saying this is a big one. Planning to disrupt the food supply and distribution.
No, not disrupt it.
Not disrupt it?
Control it.
Control it.
Yeah. So if you live in Brazil, you're going to be all right.
Okay.
If you live Africa, you're not.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they've already got problems anyway. It's probably a bad. Yeah, they got problems anyway. Well, there's parts of Africa that haven't. Very, very, productive.
Well, how about Europe?
Yeah.
What? So.
And definitely America, of course. I'll take that as a read.
Yes. Just to cut to the chase here, what you're talking about is the deliberate creation of a state of famine where a lot of people are going to die. Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that would be the result.
That would be the result.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what happens when you haven't got any food. You starve to death.
Yes. Do you know?
It's hard to find the geezer who's got his finger on the trigger, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, because it just looks like something. Yes, it just looks like something that's sort of happening. Yeah.
And it's been looking and sort of happening for the last 7 years.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
And don't take my word for it. Do your research. You'll see it's there, Bill.
Yeah.
There's nothing hidden.
Yes. This is something you said to me over and over again. It's all there.
It's got to be.
It's all there.
Fair play, if you want to use your phrase.
Yes. It's all out there for people who are smart enough to look and see.
Yeah, because if you figure it out, you're accepting, aren't you?
Okay.
Especially if you can do something about it.
Right. So...
Captains of industry and so on.
Yes. Do you know, maybe you don't know, but do you know what the target figures for population reduction are?
No.
Okay. Do those figures exist?
I would presume so, yes.
Okay, because there's...
well, to do any model, first of all, you need a business plan, don't you, for anything?
Right, and of course a lot of people watching this will know that the so-called target, or the ideal population number as stated on the Georgia Guidestones is 500 million, isn't it?
Okay.
500 million.
Yeah.
What do you know about the Georgia Guidestones?
Right. You educate me. They found who'd done it yet?
No. It was a pseudonym, somebody Christian, I think. The guy has never been located. One person said, yes, I did this.
Ah, yeah, no, discount that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about, has it been proved?
No.
Right.
No.
And it won't be.
Right.
I shouldn't think. Be very surprised.
Okay.
You're interested in the Georgia Guidestones?
I just want, not particularly.
Where did they come from? That's what interests you.
It looks like a manifesto. It's a manifesto in 8 languages, carved in stone, out in the open. A lot of people have drawn attention to this. The 500 million figure has been drawn attention to over and over again. I've done that myself. It looks like a manifesto. Like this is what we're going to do.
Then perhaps it is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you did. All right. No problem. You're saying it's a manifesto.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it could be, couldn't it? It looks like one, doesn't it?
Okay. This is where I'd love to have a camera out here to see. Okay, no problem. So from that point of view, and I know that you're not in the game of giving advice, and I understand why that is, because it really is about letting things roll. But if I said to you, which I haven't, by the way, but if I said to you, you know what, I'm going to go and head for the hills in Ecuador and get myself a little community and a little organic farm, and we're going to have our own water supply and our own fruit trees and chickens and ducks and rabbits, and our own power generator, and we're going to sit there for 20 years and we're all a happy family and everything's just going to be fine and we really want to do that. Would you, and you'd say, well, why did you do that then? It sounds like a good idea. That's the kind of thing you're saying, right?
Yeah. And if you're non-combatant, you'd probably be left alone.
Yes.
Because how many people are you talking about? I mean, seriously, it's very hard to do that. With any real longevity, if you ever really look into self-subsistence, it's very hard to do. We're not that animal anymore, really, are we?
Oh, yeah. We were much better off in the Victorian days. Yeah, we're in real trouble now.
Knowledge is gone.
Yeah.
And that's by no coincidence. That's when you see what I'm saying? It's there, you don't need to grow that anymore. We put it in the shelf. Go and buy cornflakes. You don't need corn.
Right. Yes. People. Yes, I know. It's a very.
You lose the ability, don't you?
It's a very clever game that's being played. People they've become so dependent on a system that if the bubble bursts, all they can do is stand there. All they can do is stand there in their underwear.
Hamburgers with legs.
Yeah. All right. Hamburgers with legs. I haven't heard that one before. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you do. Everyone does. You need to go and look around you. Okay.
Now, so can we then go on to why would they do this? Why would they do this? Let's put this in context for a moment here, and this is very important, because earlier on we were talking about the gentlemen who are calling the shots, who are making the decisions. We were referring to them together as respectable people who are operating with integrity, who believe that they're doing the right thing. They don't have an identical viewpoint about things, but they're very much together. And then somebody else watching this would say, wait a minute, we're talking about mass murder. But how do you fit this together?
We're not really talking about mass murder, are we? No one's holding a gun, are they?
All right.
And who did it?
You're talking about control, right. You're talking about controlling the conditions.
Sequenced events.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of what happened.
But you're talking about controlling situations so that a kind of Darwinian natural selection occurs.
That's right, yeah.
And the smartest and the fittest and the best problem solvers and the people who can see what's coming and the people who are, maybe a lot of the people watching this video Because they're
Absolutely.
smart enough to watch
Well,
the
they're
video.
already waking up, aren't they?
They're already waking
looking at what you're saying, or
Yeah.
the alternative media are saying.
Yes. So there's a small group of people here, relatively small compared
Very small,
with
really.
very small,
Very small.
who, if they take heed of all of this, are likely to make it through. This is
Well, okay, I think that might be stretching it a little bit.
more likely to make it. What would you say?
Well, as I said, we've been debilitated quite a lot, so it depends. If that individual's someone that's got the ability to self-survive, you know, can
Yes.
farm, can do this, can do that.
Yes.
Well, then, yeah,
Yes.
they got to jump on it now. They know they've got to do it. And
Yeah.
if they've got the ability, they can.
Yes.
But if you don't, then you're probably just as lost as everybody else, aren't you? You just know you're lost.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm in that category. So I don't know which end of a carrot is up.
There you go.
know. But I'm smart enough
To find someone that does.
to find somebody who does and to work well with them.
Okay, so then
in
in
some
that
way.
context, yes, they probably would have a better chance.
Yes.
If you're
Okay.
going to look at it like that.
But
But that requires cooperation.
and this is one of the traits which would be a good survival characteristic.
Yeah, and you often find that people that are involved in the alternative media do tend to cooperate with each other a lot better.
Yes.
Because the angst isn't there.
Right.
You know, the anger, the imprinted anger on everybody.
Yes.
You know, that cop show,
Right. Yes.
this film,
Yes. Yes.
his car's bigger than your car.
Yes. All the stuff that we're being conditioned to.
Look at my gold chain.
Yes.
Where's your paper? Who are you?
All the Hollywood
Don't
stuff.
do that to me.
Yeah.
I'm bigger than you. So
Yeah.
that just creates a whole
Yeah.
ethos, doesn't it? You know,
Right.
and that's nothing new to anyone. Everyone knows it's more violent out there than it was.
Oh yeah.
Where do you think that comes from?
But
Yeah. We know this though. This is no
Yes.
new. This is not new ground. We know the media have been.
Everybody knows. Yes.
Yeah, you know.
Most of the people watching this won't watch a lot of television.
No,
a lot of them
that
won't watch any.
That is another trait you find because
Yes.
it makes them uncomfortable. You do find that certain individuals are predisposed to find that situation uncomfortable because the television has replaced the fire. We all used to sit around the fire and look at the different shapes, and those shapes arrive for every vampire story, horror story you go comes from a fire because that's where storytelling started. You sat around the fire, and that was it. And now the television's a fire. It flickers, it's
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it's not, is it?
No. Sure.
It's a medium that
Every-
is a
yeah.
direct link to your brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've seen people sitting there. Sometimes
Yeah.
they sit there with their mouths open,
Yeah.
literally dribbling,
Yeah.
because they're so engrossed in what they look at.
Yeah.
And they're lost, those people.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
I'll give you, for instance, run in their room and smash their telly and watch what happens. They'll jump up and attack you without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, there would be a violent response instantly. 9 times out of 10. Seriously, you know, I really do believe that.
Yeah.
It's the drug of choice,
Yes.
the drug of the masses, and it works, and it will
Yes.
continue to work. And if you well, I'll tell you what. Let's give your viewers a task. Turn it off for 14 days. Nothing. Not even what you want to watch. Not even watch you. Nothing. And see how they feel about everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Their wife.
The world would change, is what you're trying to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I do believe that,
Well, it's not. It's not.
and no one would do that. Yeah.
It's not hard to believe, is it? Really? You know.
No. Not at all. Okay. I want to get back to the point, if I may. The reason why they're doing this is a question, and this is what I've been able to figure out from the conversations that we've had, is that it's a filter in place, or it's a bar to jump over, or it's a situation to survive, where some people will make it and most won't, being set up that way. Why would anyone do that? The only answer I can think of is because they're actually trying to not only cull the herd. If you think of a forest keeper with the deer in the forest, trying to make the forest a better place and trying to make the deer a healthier, stronger herd. Part of that guy's job is to get a shotgun out and to pick some of the deer.
Yeah, shotgun, not a
out.
nuclear weapon.
Exactly.
Because it's indiscriminate. You said that earlier on. So that's why that won't. The very argument you're making there is why that won't happen.
That's why I said what I said there. Yeah, because it's indiscriminate. Whereas what I hear you saying here is that this setup with an engineered situation of famine and food shortage is that there will be certain people who will make it through, besides the people in the underground bases. On the surface, so to speak, you would have people who are equipped to solve problems, to grow food, to see things coming, to form communities, to work with each other, to troubleshoot, and also they'll be physically tough.
Yeah, the ones that turn the television off.
Well, right. And then at the end of whatever happens, then you've got what, in one or two presentations I did, you call them human race 2.0. You've actually got a...
Yeah, good analogy, yeah.
You've actually got a sort of... I mean, it's not a genetic upgrade.
You're asking why would they do that?
Why would they do that? Are you able to say something about the human race being an experiment about optimization of the genome, and that the 33 believes themselves to be the guardians of the experiment at this level in some way?
Yes. What we're actually doing is trimming the fat off.
Right.
The surplus that shouldn't have been there in the first place,
yes,
but was created by the machine itself.
Yes.
Now is a problem.
Okay. In a previous conversation we had, I described it to you as like downsizing a company. When you've got a lot of, when actually, because of automation that you've got in the factory, you can actually let go of
the men.
90% of the people.
Yeah. Or if you've got a company that's in difficulty.
Right.
Yeah. So if we say the world's a company and it's in difficulty, and it's not going to survive because financially it can't, it's got too big and slow.
Okay.
So in comes a liquidator and it chops off all the bits that don't really work, shrinks it down, puts the money from that process in the bank, and therefore the shareholders are very happy because you've now got a working concern that's lean, mean and ready to go again.
That sounds to me
and we're talking about
like
financial people here, right?
I understand that. Right. I understand that. They're thinking of it.
So if you want
in
a format and a reason, look for any downsides or liquidation.
Yes. So it's like which again
is sequence driven.
Yes, I understand that. What I heard you say then is like corporation Planet Earth needs to be licked into shape in the way that you described. And is that a bad thing? If it's not going to make it, if they believe that it's not going to make it, are they doing an evil thing? If you kill 300 men to save 30,000, are you a murderer? I hear your question. I hear your question. And if we were talking with those people here on camera, and if they were able to talk about this themselves, and I know that they feel that they're not,
wouldn't even want it.
Yeah, sure. But what you are saying is that is the way that they see it.
Yes, the way that they see it.
They see it that they believe they're doing a responsible job. Is the reason why they don't talk about this openly, perhaps this is a dumb question actually, but let me ask it anyway, is the reason why this is not being talked about openly that they believe that, as in that movie with Jack Nicholson, A Few Good Men, people cannot handle the truth?
No, absolutely. I mean, I've told you you're going to exercise caution with what I will tell you.
Yes.
And there's a good reason for that, because it's going to upset a lot of people.
Yes.
And with good reason.
Yes.
But the funny thing is, when you get to the end of the night, any person that jumps up in front of you and says, if you then take that person down and sit them down somewhere, and if you could inject them with someone that will make them calm down and coherently listen to you long enough for you to explain, they're probably going to end up on the same bus as them. Because it does make sense. If it's going to break, it's got to be fixed.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. What you're saying then, or rather, what you're saying they're saying, is that, to use your words, planet Earth is broken, and this is the way to fix it. This is their best solution. And then what I also hear you saying, and I also need to say that I'm trying to steer a balanced role here as an interviewer, because I want to help people understand what you're saying and what the people are feeling and believing and doing who you have been in that room with for 10 years, which is what you described. You're saying that they are being as responsible as they know to fix planet Earth because it's broken, basically.
Yes.
That's, yeah. Do you, if I can ask you a direct question, do you believe this yourself?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's a personal opinion.
Yes. That's what I was asking for. Thank you for that. And I do believe that you do believe that.
Yeah.
Because I knew you were...
Yeah, well, you've had conversations with me for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll argue with you about it.
Yes. Well...
Because I know you don't believe that. Well, that's a bit of a complicated one. Let's not get into that one.
Well, no. Let me just make a statement about this, just for myself.
Okay.
Because it would be quite easy at this point for people to think that because I'm reporting what you're saying,
that you are,
I'm in agreement with it.
Yeah.
And I am trying to do a very responsible job as an interviewer here. I find if I step back from the whole thing and look at this whole thing from somewhere else in the galaxy, it's an extraordinary situation. It's just that when people start thinking, well, wait a minute, this is going to happen to me and my loved ones, then it starts to become more difficult.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, your dad, you're in the river and it's freezing cold and one kid can't swim very well and you can't get to him. And that kid's right there. And you know you've got 10 seconds to get out or none of you make it.
Yeah.
That's a tough decision, but that dad will make that decision.
Yes, 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 yes. And then have to live with it.
Yeah.
Yes. I understand that. That's a good analogy. My own position, which I can state clearly, but it doesn't have the benefit of billions of dollars worth of research, data, computer modeling, and everything else. It's a feeling. My feeling is that it is possible that the human race can solve this problem in a different way with the right kind of leadership and the right kind of information and the right kind of responsible sharing of information.
Okay.
I can't drill down below that.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you come up with that and it is, then I'll be with you.
Yeah.
You got to understand, I'm not making a choice here. I'm making a logical choice.
I understand what you're saying.
I don't agree
yes.
with everything, but you know, nor did Dad.
Yeah.
As he watched the other kid.
I understand what you're saying. But my feeling, as I just described it very, very briefly, is my feeling is that there is a way out of this.
Okay, right. You explain the way out of this and I'll come with you.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's our second interview. Because
because
I don't have a prepared answer for that. It's just a feeling. And I'm just sharing that with you as a mate. It's just this is what I feel.
That would be a hell of an answer, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And you may even get your point. You may even get your chance to put that point.
Yes. And I'm stating this for a reason. I believe that there is an alternative. I don't believe that there is no other way. I just do not believe there's no other way. I just don't believe.
But then again, you're not in possession of all the facts, are you?
And
yet.
That's what I said. I don't have all the information.
Okay, yeah.
I don't have the access to computer modeling. I don't have the access to data connection. And I haven't been thinking about this for the last 100 years. Or however long they've been thinking about it.
Okay, so by that same token, do you not think that they really have thought about it? And a lot of work has been done and maybe that devil's advocate was played at some point?
I hear what you're saying. But if this is also the case, and this loops back to our earlier conversation that we had in this interview, that if I am responsibly trying to look at this problem, saying, wait a minute, guys, isn't there another way to solve this? Then that actually would be respected. That would be respected. That wouldn't be regarded. I mean, you've been in problem-solving meetings with people. If somebody in the back says, wait a minute, I've got an idea, he's not necessarily going to be a nuisance.
He's got 20 seconds, hasn't he?
All right.
Before he's told to shut up.
Okay. Yeah. Because,
you better have a coherent argument. You only get one stab.
Okay. I hear what you're saying.
And no one individual could do it. To think there's going to be one messiah is just completely ludicrous. You'd be hard pushed out. I mean, look at the resources that we've got. And you're saying that you think there may be another way. Fine, I'm not going to argue with you about that. That's your opinion, okay? And I respect your opinion. But you're standing there as one individual saying that, so I'll take it like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because to put together a coherent argument against that size of argument with that much data behind it, you better make sure you come prepared.
Okay. And I take that point very seriously because a few lines of passionate belief in itself isn't going to save the world. And you're a practical man. You're talking about getting space. What you want is, or what you would like to see happen, if you're able to live to see it, is to see spaceship Earth and the human race in good shape. Am I right about that?
I really don't care.
You're okay. You really, but you do care a little bit,
No, I
don't you?
don't, no.
You don't?
No.
All right. Okay. Okay. You just want to see that guy in the back of the room be heard for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. Okay.
That's exactly right.
Okay, I got it. All right, I got that. Now, in this very, very interesting conversation we're having here, are you able to say anything about the context and the backdrop to the whole history of this planet and the human race, or is that off record? I'm not talking about the detail, I'm talking about the generality of it.
I've seen documented evidence, and I've been shown things. I've been told things about the pyramids that just make sense. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
And I know that people like Arthur C. Clarke knew things, but they again had weaknesses.
Yes.
That put them in his case, Sri Lanka.
Yes.
Out of reach. You know, go and read his books. I'm sure you have.
Yes.
You know, the guy is more or less responsible for the satellites that we
Yes.
use today, and the idea behind them. You know, this is a genius. Well, he wasn't really. He just knew some stuff. He was present at things. And until they go and until they go back to the moon and put that in a capsule and bring it back, that to me would be quite something. If they bring that piece back, then okay, I might jump on the bandwagon with everybody else on that one. But yeah, you know, I've seen some stuff, and I've had stuff to explain to me, which does make a hell of a lot of sense. Yes.
Okay. Now here.
You see what I'm saying, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Now, what the big picture is here, which we haven't actually talked about between us, is extraterrestrial involvement.
You've got to be very careful about that. Oh, just put the question bluntly. You know, most people, all the alternative media, and a lot of people now. I mean, just look, go back to the 50s, right? If you ask the ordinary man in the street in Walthamstow in England whether he believes in aliens, he'd laugh his head off and go and get some pie and mash. If you ask him today, he may well say, yeah, there has got to be something, because he's educated, he knows that that's vast the universe.
And he's being conditioned by Hollywood movies and television series. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Which is all part of what I mean, we are being prepared into terms with this.
Yeah. But not for the reasons you think.
For what reasons?
They're going to have nothing to do with us. They're there. If you, all right,
The
okay.
ETs
so
are
let's
gonna
just
have-
be let's
Right.
call a spade.
Yeah.
They exist. There is no conjecture. They do. Yeah, there is stuff. But you know what? That's no big surprise to 50% of people, shall we say?
Right.
But that number's gone up, hasn't it? You know,
Yeah.
more and more people realise. You know, more important. More, you know, NASA have got more and more slapdash about, and cannot, because of the very thing they've created, the media monster behind trying to get money for the space race.
Yes.
Is still there from the 60s.
Yes.
And people, there is a lot of people that are very interested in it. And so because of that, cameras are on the shuttle. And because of the internet and various people that are clever with the internet, Mr. McKinnon and people like that, who I know very well.
Did you know Gary McKinnon?
I'll tell you a story about him later on.
Off record?
Yeah.
That's a shame. Okay. All right. We're talking about cameras on the shuttle and people who are clever with computers.
What I'm trying to say is, you can't, there's so many now.
Yes.
You can't keep your lid on everything.
You're saying it's impossible to hide the reality.
And there's a certain piece of video that is quite prevalent on the internet of a circular thing rolling behind a tether.
Yes, I know that one.
That's factual.
Yes.
A couple of miles across, but it's not a ship, and things aren't what you think they are out there. You should regard space more as an ocean.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got no right to turn around and say intelligent or unintelligent, you know, because then what you're doing, you're comparing things to your intellect, aren't you?
Okay.
And how can you compare that to a human?
Are you stating this as a fact?
Absolutely.
A fact. And what you're talking about here is you're talking about large living beings, like big kind of...
And small.
And small living beings.
Look at it this way, if you've got a shark swimming through the ocean, he's got fish swimming all around him most of the time, picking up morsels, servicing him, and he doesn't eat them. They go right in his mouth.
Yes.
And come out. You know, that's a natural thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Is it so far-fetched for you to understand that that could be the situation out there?
Okay. But at the same time, there are some what we could regard as metallic craft, things that you could call spacecraft,
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
Right.
But tell you what, I've got an axe to grind here, so let me grind my axe.
You
right?
do that.
Okay, so here you are. You're an alien. Yeah, you're on the other side of the universe, right? For instance, yeah, you're in Orion. Yeah, you're that far away. Yeah, you're in your ship and you're flying all the way here, and you cross intergalactic space in a fantastic piece of machinery. Yeah, and you get in, and then you crash in Nevada.
Right.
Rubbish.
Okay.
Rubbish. You're shot down.
Okay.
That's what happened to you.
Yes.
Because you didn't think that there was any kind of particle weapon or kinetic weapon that could do that.
Yes.
Because you wasn't prepared because it was the first time you came.
Yes. That was. It was got something to do with radar, wasn't it? They discovered that radar would actually do this.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Well, it was quite an aggressive. It wasn't an accident.
Okay. I've got you. So you're saying that the so-called crashes weren't crashes; they're actually offensive actions which
And
were
I ask you
discovered.
to understand that because you don't cross intergalactic space and then crash in Nevada, do you?
I understand that.
You see, that's my axe there. So sorry, go on.
I've got you. That's fine. So you're saying that initially there was a way of bringing the craft down that was discovered by accident,
More or less,
and then it was more or less, and then it was fairly
It was
quickly
a deliberate attempt.
utilized. Yeah.
Amazing that it worked.
Yes, right.
And then when it did,
So it's a lucky hit,
Yeah.
and then they started to get focused about it.
yeah,
because-
well, they realised that it could be done, and then went down the avenue of trying to figure out how they done it and what actually did cause it, and they needed to look at the thing they brought down to do that,
Yes, and then
and then they educated them, so
Yeah.
they became much better at it.
yes, because then you got the Americans mainly, I guess. Was it only the Americans? Did this happen in every country?
No, let's drop the borders and
Okay.
the nationalities.
Okay.
It's not.
So then you got people who are pretty smart, who got their hands on this ET technology, and that was never part of the setup. That was never part of the plan, was
No.
it? It was never part of the plan.
No.
Okay. And what kind of problems has that caused?
Well, you know what we're like. It's not caused. They want to go. We're going to be the visitors.
So that's what the selection's about. Okay, it's about creating a sort of space crew or a
And remember,
A
this
new-
is second hand, so.
I understand that. A new breed of humanity who will be well equipped to go off into the cosmos like the Crusaders.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Crusaders.
Like the Crusaders. And it's like it's like you've got the spirit of the Crusaders and you give them extraterrestrial technology to move with.
There you go.
And then,
And are any of us in any doubt that we're going to start planet hopping within the next century? Are you actually in any doubt with the technologies available now? Because we're doing it with robots.
personally, I'm in no doubt at all that we've got a Mars base.
Oh, right, okay.
Is this something you've ever heard about?
Yes.
Okay. Can you say anything about that?
No.
All right. Okay. Do you want that off record?
No.
Okay. All right. That's fine. But for sure, most people who I've spoken to about this subject who really feel that they do know something about it will say that we've got all kinds of technology that you wouldn't, let's say that it makes the space shuttle look like a Model T Ford or perhaps a horse and buggy. So it implies that there are a lot of those crafts and we're very, very far advanced.
Well, I'll
indeed.
tell you something about those craft that's never come out.
Tell me.
Right. You know, you've got you go to Mexico and something's a mile across. And then you come to Nevada and it's 600 feet across.
Okay.
It's triangular.
Right, yeah.
All right. So how about it being 10 triangles that can lock in together and fly in the same formation?
Oh, okay.
And then they can split.
Okay. They fit together like bricks?
Yeah.
Or like pieces?
And can do that in motion.
Okay. Is this and these are our craft you're talking about?
Yeah.
And,
Modular.
yeah. And you're
So
telling
you can see how easy that would be to
Yes.
confuse every individual, because one day it's a star and the next day it's a triangle.
Okay.
And then it can split up and go in all different directions.
Okay.
You can try and explain that. It's got to be extraterrestrial, hasn't it? If it can split up into 10 different pieces when it was one craft and then
Okay.
disappear off quite quickly in all different directions.
Okay. And you have been told this?
I've not just been told it, I've seen it.
You've seen it? Okay. Okay.
Technology's hundreds of years further forward than
Yes.
it is.
Yes.
And And not just technology. You got to understand. If you go back to let's say everyone loves it. Let's go back to the pyramids age, right? If you were in power at that point, and you knew about electricity, and the man in the street at that point who was lugging stones around for you, can you imagine how much more powerful you are than him? Look at what you've learned in the last couple of months and how it's changed your view on things.
Right.
Right?
Point taken. Yeah.
So times that by 1 million.
Yes.
And then put 5,000 years in the spin.
Yes.
So it's not a case of many years technology is ahead of you. It's a case of how many years. How can I put that into words?
I know what you're saying. Yeah, sure. Yeah, yes, I do. And you're saying that some of these crumbs have fallen off the table into the public sector, like onto Apple. But a lot of it is kept behind the curtain for use of the insiders with their own programs. Yeah. Okay.
And to keep the jump on everyone else, you can't tell them what you're doing.
Yes.
But when you've got to a point where you don't need to be doing that anymore, and it could make you an awful lot of money for what you want to do,
yes,
and further your endeavours, then you can let those crumbs out, can't you?
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Send them over to Beijing and get them made.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question about this that I've been meaning to ask you for a while, and I haven't asked this question to you yet, and that is that, is it possible that there are sectors, say, of American military private enterprise, what Eisenhower called the military-industrial complex, that are working on things and know things and have control of things that the 33 aren't party to? Is it possible that there are things that they're not party to? And that some people have...
Yes, but only because they don't want to be party to it.
Okay.
If it became interesting, no, there's nothing out of their grasp.
Nothing out of their grasp?
No, because what they'll do is they'll financially help it along, stop it, get control of it. You can when you've got all the power.
Okay. Okay.
All the knowledge, shall we say.
Which is why basically what you're saying is that money opens all the doors. Cool. But you're not really talking about money.
No, not at all.
It's not
a concept I even want to talk about.
It's not like
nonsense.
Money in the bank account. It's the control that comes with the ability to shape the economics of nations through a decision that somebody makes. Is that the kind of thing we're talking about?
Yeah, it is.
I remember you described at an earlier stage, you described that these 33, each of these individuals, they should actually be seen as like nation states in themselves,
yes,
in terms of policy making, economic influence.
There is no borders or nationalities, that is all pointless, all of that.
Yeah. So that's just part of the wrapping of the package.
Yeah, it's part of the plan. It's part of the education.
Yes. Yes.
It makes you fight amongst yourself, divide and conquer.
Yes. Can you say anything about what geopolitical changes we might expect? Like, for instance, there are a lot of people watching this...
New World Order.
In all that stuff.
Yeah.
The North American Union, based on the economic...
Yeah.
If it's prudent
for them to do it and it helps for the model, yes, they'll do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all those things are on the table. But as soon as you draw too much attention to any of them, depending on their importance, what your longevity is or the audience longevity is, whether they'll roll it out again in another 100 years.
Okay.
Because if you draw attention to it, they won't do it. And your credibility will go out the window.
Yes. Global currency, same thing?
Oh yeah, no, that's inevitable though, Bill. Come on. If you know anything about economics, you know there's going to be one world government. It's the only way it's going to go. It's got to.
Okay. Okay. There's likely to be the removal of borders between, like...
Financial borders.
Financial borders.
Borders won't be removed because that's how you keep people averse to each other.
Okay.
I've got it great over here, you're like shit.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, then you're arguing, right?
Yes. So it's creating the dialectic, but the finances actually determine the real structure.
Keep everyone's nose on the grindstone. They can't look up long enough to wonder what they're doing.
Okay.
Keep everyone arguing amongst ourselves about racial equality and sexual equality, homophobic, keep everyone arguing about everything because then they're all arguing amongst themselves and we know what we want to get on with.
Okay. Let me ask you one more question, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it going to be convenient to set up a false flag operation to depict the ETs as being enemies?
It's on the table, they're going to do it.
That's on the table,
Yeah,
they're going
they
to
will
do it?
do that. That's what the craft are for, that's what the modular things are for. And it's already started.
Okay. Do you know, is this